In thinking about how governors can ensure there's effective financial control and management, as an ex-school business manager, the obvious one to me is to appoint a very competent school business manager as the chief finance officer, and to understand the clear responsibilities that that person has as defined within the Academy's financial handbook. I think some of the challenges that school governors in academies and free schools face around that is that there are many experienced practitioners out there who have developed within the local authority model, and the financial management and accountability in an academy, or a school funded as an academy, is quite different and more akin to commercial accounting. So making sure that someone coming from a local authority school background is able to cope with the additional demands and different demands in the academy setting, I think is very important, and something to make sure is in place. I think also to recognise in the first year of operation, a free school will be starting with completely new, untried and untested systems. And your external audit may be more than 12 months away. So what checks and balances are you going to put in place from day one to make sure those systems are fit for purpose? I would strongly advocate that before your school is up and running, you are appointing external auditors and accountants who will work with you to set up those structures from scratch to make sure that your first year end is a smooth process, and you're not then paying a lot of additional fees to the external auditors and accountants to make sure that those structures are right. I think it's also important to think about the reporting mechanisms that need to take place during the year, where the management, the senior leadership team, the head teacher, the governing body may need reports in one format to help them make decisions in year, may well be different to the reports that are needed at the end of the financial year when the company accounts are produced, and any accounting system and regime that's adopted needs to be fit for purpose to cope with both of those things. And that's a problem that I have seen emerge in some academy trusts, where the head teacher and the governing body are coping to understand the reports that are produced in a certain format in year that don't actually tell them how much money is available to make decisions about investing in additional developments within the year. In terms of thinking about effective controls, I place great emphasis on the reliability of a very thorough month-end process. I become alarmed when I hear schools that are only looking at their finances in year termly, for example, and even in a small school, and perhaps actually more important in a small school where the margins are much tighter. I think a thorough month-end process that identifies what has changed since the last month-end, there's accountability to were those variances foreseeable, if so why didn't we see them coming, if not what can we learn from the unforeseen parts, what's the implication for this financial year, what's the implication for next financial year. And I think that should be a three-way discussion. I think it should be the Chief Finance Officer's responsibility to do that first line analysis, to share that with the head teacher as the accounting officer, and the strongest governance arrangements I see is where there's a lead governor for finance, it might be the chair of a finance committee or a non-executive type role for finance, who will be involved. Now that doesn't always mean coming into the school, it might be an email exchange, it might be a telephone conversation, but there is that accountability through to the governing body at least monthly through their link or lead governor in that area, and then he or she, if they had cause for concern, could alert the other governing body, the other members of the governing body or the committee to any particular problem. And again, going back to the governors being able to notice if there's a problem and being able to intervene quickly if necessary. And I think the final part of effective control is when you're setting the school up in that first year of operation, to think about what is your internal audit framework and how is that going to be developed to cover you for that interim period until your external audit arrives, and then how it will dovetail with ongoing external